review my performance on the great, the GOAT, the beta, right? And he brought this, his girls to try to, they was trying to get at me, right? They was trying to break me down. They was trying to break old Rufus down. But, it was I would say, smooth victory. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Thank y'all coming to the show. Let's go. So let's go here. On a local level as well. And this happens. You do have to agree that there are many people under the Innocent Projects that are wrongfully convicted in this country, at thousands people a day. So you do agree with that the courts are very aggressive, and they will put cases on people. They will convict innocent people just for the numbers and because they don't care, right? They're just trying to get promoted or whatever. So we can't act like or pretend that people are not getting wrongful convicted or getting released years later on an appeal turn or the Innocent Project. So you can't see this say because somebody got convicted, oh, well, they're guilty of that, when we clearly see in the past that government made mistakes and have wrongfully convicted people and had to clean up their mess. And then there's still people in prison serving stuff that they're potentially not guilty for. But so we have to be clear. It is not a 100% the government does everything right and they're out to be left on, but whatever the government, they're right. No, they get overzealous. They entrap people. They lie on people, witness tampering. They do a whole bunch of manipulating the system so that they can get people to keep the numbers up, job security. So once again, we cannot as Black people sit here and just champion because we don't like somebody a act by the government, which is to me, and once again, I think it's a violation of the constitutional rights, which they wrote in the Constitution. And we've been integrated for some time and implemented under that Constitution. And we Black people deserve the fairness of which they wrote in their laws, in their Constitution. And that I'm standing on.
Right, but okay.
And right there, it was a win-win, right? I don't know why Taz is trying to, fight me on this, right? That's a easy stance, right? I mean, the government's crooked, all right? Just because you don't like Diddy or you don't like people, right, don't mean you side with the government. That doesn't mean, oh, well, I'm going to side with the oppressor just to be right. Let's go.
Okay, so I don't disagree with that in terms of just speaking the language. But here's where we're going to fall into an issue at. If the grand jury comes back with an indictment on him, what position are we in to say the evidence was flawed? He didn't even make that argument.
Man, the grand jury is just as crooked as they all in the bed together. The lawyers, the judge, the grand jury, all of them, OJ 101, baby. You see, and this is why the OJ case was and I'm glad it happened, because it showed and it drew out the clear picture of how crime scenes can be built as they go. It showed a clear picture of the corruptness of racist cops, a racist system that will go above and beyond just because they don't like the color of your skin. So we cannot dismiss the OJ case as a case law, as something we can look at and say, you know what? This is the part of the corruption of this government. They are a bit aggressive and they don't, they're racist at times. So those facts cannot be dismissed, nor should we forget how significant that victory was when Donnie Cochran said, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Right, but what about when the glove fit? Because that's what I'm saying. If you get a conviction out of it, that means the glove fit, does it not? Especially
yes, If the glove fit, then most likely the jury would have found him guilty. But it still does not dismiss that they found all the planted blood evidence, the planted glove, the glove they planted in the backyard. The crime scene was contaminated. They found out it was cow blood or something that they put on stuff. So once again, there's not huh?
Go ahead, bro, because we finna switch to the OJ case if I respond to that.
I'll just use that as the example of how the government doesn't get a lot of trust from me when it comes to these cases. So when you talk about the grand jury, I don't trust them either. Once again, they all are in the bed together. And sometimes, and I'm not saying every case they're the same, Chaz. I would say I was guilty, okay? I admit it, even though I was supposed to beat myself, but hey, it is what it is, right? But once again, me being in jail cells, in the county jail, Los Angeles County Jail, and reduced cases in there, and how the cops were hitting their heads on the doors and stuff like that, and then going and tell him, hey, he assaulted me. So every guy come in looking at probation now, he looking at 2 years. That's why Lee Baca went to federal prison, right? Because the defense came in and investigated the crookedness of the LA sheriffs. And now the feds are doing the same thing that they are, I would say, criticizing the Los Angeles County Police Department for doing. With this illegal investigation, infringement upon people's rights, the violation of the Constitution, and you're talking about the grand jury. The grand jury is as crooked as they come.
I'm not saying that the grand jury is right or even fair or legitimate or any of that, but I am saying once they do get the end, what are we using as the mark to say that the prosecution is unfair? But let me get Koya in here. What's good, Koya?
Hey, Koya.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
Good. I mean, I wanted to address some of the other topics. I didn't know we were talking about Diddy. So, I mean, I jump in when y'all switch the conversation because I didn't know we was talking about Diddy. I thought it was somebody Anton or somebody.
We was just talking about it. We don't have to stay there. We was just talking about that little part of it.
We can switch it. Healthy debate. If there's a healthy debate.
Okay. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of discourse online about the Manosphere documentary. I didn't get a chance to watch it either. I didn't think it was anything special or important, but a lot of conversations are being had about it because a lot of people, particularly people in like academia or people that are intellectual, they like this is really exposing how much a grift a lot of these online movements are, and how people are just willingly signing up for it, knowing that they're being grifted, knowing that these people are lying, knowing that these people are rage baiting and just selling them things, and they're just going for it. And so it just made me think of this whole Anton thing, or people like Anton that we know in real life, they're squares, they're losers. Before the internet, they was probably invisible.
I ask you a question. So you're saying the people that you've interviewed aren't able to make their thoughts clear?
Ruthless. So let
What
Don't
is
hurt my
that?
feelings. I'm just giving.
How does that end up in the lineup with women dogging men?
Because I'm just telling you why men respond. Because she said men say in these conversations, which are they try to display, oh yeah, when war comes or protection, all that stuff, right, is a counter argument to when they feel women say they ain't shit. That's basically what it is.
Well, sometimes they're not, though.
I'm not doing that. But it just said this is the conversations when we have these conversations on these platforms between men and women. There's a lot of disagreements, and women sometimes say things that men are weak or sassy or
Sometimes
not
they are.
leaders. Well, and those are you guys. Those are you guys' objective opinions. But then men counter those arguments with, "Well, look at how we do this, and when war comes, and this, and this, and this, and this is how we." It's kind of a pissing contest. So that's all it is. I mean, well, another war, right? This is a psychological warfare between men and women right now. We're trying to figure out how we're going to get our, I guess, families back in order, the nuclear family, whatever it is. I don't know, whatever. But
I
it's
don't know
part
about
of.
if your family
Yeah,
out of order, you should probably get it together.
Yes, and this is why those conversations happen. So to answer her question, that's why men say that.
Those conversations are happening with people that don't have no families. It's not the people with families having them conversations.
Well, there's people who want families in the future, but they don't see no future with them getting a family because of the standards have been risen. The standards of being a provider has risen, right? Women have raised the bar on excellence of what they expect, and this excludes a lot of average people who can't meet those expectations. So they're saying, "Well, hey, we want a family, but you're making it impossible." That's what that is. So once again, right? It's just that what it is. Women are raising the bar on what the expectations are from men. And this is causing a great divide amongst men and women because a lot of these expectations are unrealistic. Period.
Who's making possible?
I mean, and then women want what they want, right? Y'all want what y'all want. I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem with it. And who worship the ground you walk on, and they want to build that nuclear family with you. They want to come home to you, boo boo.
Right.
Why you looking? Nyla looked at me.
Well, because like every woman ain't even on that.
I know that. I'm talking about the men. The men
But they
want you guys to.
the data doesn't say that. The data doesn't say that.
Oh yeah, believe me, they kicked me off many panels.
No, the data says that men are not the data says men are interested in marriage.
Well, because the women are pushing the line. You got to remember, men acquiesce to women. In this day, they kind of just go with the flow of the women. Like they're like, okay, well, they don't seem to want to get married.
When they're weak, they do acquiesce to women.
Yes. So, and I'm gonna say this right, and this is real, if the women was the all ones, and it's not going to happen, but if the women will say right now in a unified voice, okay, Daddy, we coming back home. We're gonna cook and clean, and we're gonna do this.
What is the back?
I'm just saying, right?
I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to follow your train of thought, right?
Yeah, men don't. But I'm saying, if you guys, I'm just saying, you're gonna see what I'm saying. Well, I'm just telling you what men want, right? They want you guys traditional again. They want you to go back to the old days, like OJ.
Is there a
right?
meeting that you're talking to these men, and they're coming to this consensus that they all want traditional wives?
Pretty much. There's a few men, minority, that deal like the modern women, but most men want
traditional wife in 2026.
What is what?
What is a traditional wife in 2026?
They don't exist.
No, maybe like y'all don't know what traditional is in 2026, because traditional in 17.
The evolution of tradition.
Slow down.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Traditions change. The traditional
evolution.
1700 is not the traditional in 1950. The traditional 1950 is not the traditional in 1990, and so on and so forth. But it seems like you guys, a lot of you have this appreciation for a period where women could have bank accounts and stuff like that. You felt a little powerful. Then you felt a little bit more in control, the less rights and autonomy that women have.
I agree with you. You talk about, so the evolution of the traditionalists have been updated. I agree with you. But what I am saying is men don't want it to be updated. They want to go back. They want to outdate it, right? They want to take it back. And this is
because it was easier when women weren't getting educations. It was easier when women needed them for sustenance. When women didn't have a lot of options, it makes it real easy then, right?
Well, it just also, men believe in the nuclear family a lot. So
if men
that's their
believe in families, they would create them.
They do, but the women are out of there, right?
Men believe in having in creating children. That's what they believe in.
Yeah. We're not a monolith. So there are some men who just want to go around, have babies, is their legacy. They don't really care about the nuclear family. But for the most part, when I'm talking about these conversations and implying to the men on here in these spaces who preach this rhetoric, in large, they want they are very enamored of a traditional setting for our nuclear family to prosper in. And the women are saying, no, we don't care about that. We've evolved. We got our own ambitions. You either want to get on our program or we're just not going to do it.
Right. And that's what it should be. Like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Like,
So,
so
I'm just explaining the conflict, because that is a conflict, right? When two people want the same thing, right? Women want their program, men want their program. So we got two people.
Why don't y'all want more? Like, why don't y'all want to raise y'all standards? Like, y'all complain that women's standards are too high, but why don't y'all get some high standards?
Right.
What do you mean by that?
What
we do? If we raise our standard and say, well, you need to be rich woman to be with us, you guys wouldn't go for that, right? And men's standard is kind of raised high because our standards are in beauty, not in money. So I don't know what she's saying there. I think our standards are different from your standards, right? Men's standards is beauty for women, right? So we do want beautiful women.
Huh?
Men's standards are raised, right? They like beautiful women that are really, really pretty, right? That's for one. You guys' standards is currency, and our currency is your beauty, right? So that is so when you say raise the standards, men love beautiful women, like really, really, really beautiful women. That standard is high. So and they have to change that because the beautiful women are pushing a different ideology other than the nuclear family. So I mean,
beauty is not. I mean, everybody likes beautiful things, men and women. That's not really a high standard. That's shallow. That's why you have a whole bunch of women modifying themselves, because you can purchase beauty now. So it's like you can find a beautiful woman anywhere. That's not really a high standard. That's basic stuff. Everybody likes.
It is our standard, right? Beauty is a man's standard. When we look at women across the board, our standard is beauty. Period. And women's standard is money, economic success. They're looking for providers. So, I don't know why they just try to argue. They just want to argue, right? They just want to argue to be right. And this is why a lot of these women are single and divorced, because they just can't say, you know what, Rufus, you're right. Men love beautiful women, and women love money, right? And that's our different standards. So, but women's standards, which they have raised, directly affects the economical infringement of a relationship. So theirs are more detrimental. Beauty, men liking beautiful women, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't affect the economical cycle of a relationship.
Like,
but beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So if this guy thinks this one woman, right, and she's the most beautiful woman in the world for him, nobody better,
right?
He wants to, yeah.
You got a beautiful woman with no intellect, no skills, no nothing else, and so that's why you're having these results that you're having, where you're complaining about modern women and all the things that they're doing, because women whose only currency is beauty, that's the type of time they be on. And so you're getting what you're asking for. So I'm just telling you that maybe it should be, if you want a family, a nuclear family, you should want more than just beauty.
And can we add that maybe those beautiful women also want men that don't have high blood pressure and gout?
Well, it's
really interesting how, like, the first thing that you guys run to is, a woman being feminine and fit and all of this kind of stuff, but they're literally, most of y'all don't have no standards for yourselves. Y'all be walking around.
I would have to disagree with that. We do have standards.
Be walking around here with bad diction, can't speak, limited vocabulary, no intellect at all, can't take you no damn where. It's Go ahead.
Who are you speaking to here? Wait. Are you saying the majority of men are that way?
No, I'm saying that there are men that are that way. There are men that are.
Oh, okay, that's the minority, right?
And there, I don't know.
No, it's majority. It's majority in
No, no,
the
no,
other way.
no. Majority of men are average earners. They have jobs and they are efficient.
Well, the majority of
Can
men.
they articulate a rooster up?
And Chicago Gorilla comes up here to fucking try to, give the women an alley-oop. Oh, well, because how are you going to say that average man is not able to articulate and have a ability to think about shit? That's what she said. She's like, oh, well, but men, they don't know where they want to go. They don't know what they want. And most men are average earners and they are economically efficient. They're just not rich, right? They're just not rich as fuck. But they make $50,000 with 800 credit score. They got a little house that they're paying down, a car. So when these women get with these men, they seem to complain about these type of guys, which those are the average American. I don't get what they're going to go with this. But let's see what Chicago Gorilla comes in with this rhetoric, and he's going to get smashed.
Jesus Christ. Ruthless. Can they articulate?
He said,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nyla. Peace to you, sis. I think this may be our first time on the panel. Salute. Man, like, shout out to you. I rock with Taz. Heavy Taz already know what it is, but shout out to you, fam, for holding that brother down. Rooster, no. I mean, Jesus Christ. Ruthless, no. I only pull up when he show up with the goofiness. Ruthless, would you? Are you seriously standing on business that most men are articulate or most men go to the doctor?
Yes.
So most men in these United States of America, in particular, the black men in America, have their primary care physician and they know them by name.
Well,
most men know their blood type. Wait. Do most men know their blood type?
So now you're moving the goalposts.
Oh,
articulating.
I thought I heard Nyla allude to that.
No, I'm just saying it's articulating and talking about.
I just want to make sure I wasn't missing conversations.
Your caregiver is two different conversations, right? Well, I believe
because typically articulate men care about their health.
I believe 96% of men or more can articulate their thoughts.
You can't substantiate that 96%.
Well, yes, I can. 85% of the country is average.
Cite your source.
85% of Americans are average and live efficient lives. And
yeah, based on what?
All right, you gotta let me finish, huh?
Yes, sir.
So the average American can articulate, they can fill out an application, they can articulate to them when they're doing the job interviews on their value to this company. They can articulate to the woman when they get to know her, and they accordingly.
I'm sorry. And Rufus.
Wait. You say these companies, this question I have for you.
Yeah.
You saying these companies who are hiring these people are saying hiring inadequate, articulated people?
Yeah. And here's the crazy part, Rufus. Black and white, they're hiring inarticulate. See, the thing that y'all
and he's a fucking liar. These high power companies, Apple, all these companies, engineers, are you telling me that he's going to sit here and make an argument that they're hiring people who are not able to articulate whatever it is they are valuable to their value to the company? He's a fucking liar. You wouldn't hire a guy if he can do that. If you seem them incompetent, then they wouldn't hire him. I don't know why he really just wants to be heard and seen, but have no freaking foundation.
Conservative douchebags and Republicans, all y'all gangbanging cats think this is a meritocracy. It is not. People are hiring, right, based on, I know Billy Bob dad, and Billy Bob dad provided a favor for me, so I'm gonna return the favor. We plan, hey fam, no. So people going to these interviews, and I'm telling you.
Let me.
Okay.
So let me read.
I'm telling you, as a hiring, listen. I'm telling you. Uh oh.
I ain't see you come up. What's good, fam. No, y'all got it. Y'all got it. I just see you come up. I wanted to holler at you. What's good, bro?
No. I already did the pleasantries and all that other stuff, Taz. You already know what it is. Salute to you, King.
Okay, so I'll read this definition so we can get it all clear. Articulate, the ability to speak, express thoughts, or to enunciate words clearly, fluently, and coherently. That's the average American. You're not going to sit here and tell me that the average American can't do that. You just want to argue.
No, I don't want to just argue. Ruthless, you've known me in this space long enough to know that I'm actually a people leader, right? And I hire and employ people for a living. And no, they cannot articulate anything at all.
But you don't. What you mean?
Wait, Ruthless. How many people have you hired in the last year? Ruthless.
No. Let me say this. I'm asking you a question. So you're saying the people that you've interviewed aren't able to make their thoughts clear?
Ruthless. So let me ask you direct. That's exactly what I'm saying. And number two, let me tell you something. And let me give this to the audience too, right? When you go in for an interview, most of us are asking behavioral questions, right? So we want clear, specific.
Come on, really, stop, man. They still have to be able to articulate whatever it is, the questions you asking them. Come on, man. This guy crazy.
Stories of what you did when. So we want to know, what was the issue? How did you observe the issue, or how did you arrive at the conclusion that that was an issue? And then what did you do to solve it, right? And most Americans, Ruthless, cannot articulate that. And if you are not hiring people, I don't know how you are able to substantiate that people are doing this. It just went.
I got it right here, right? I got it right here. The average American can generally articulate thoughts clearly, typically speaking, at the rate of 150 to 160 words per minute. So,
cite your source. No. Cite your source.
This is from. Let me see where it's from. This is on Google, and let me see.
Hey, peace to you, Nyla. I don't know how you put up with it.
I don't believe you're sitting here lying or just trying to argue that the average American can't articulate. Like, that is the common 15-year-old.
And that's white or black.
Level, though. The average American reads at an 8th grade level. That's why I was interested to see what's actual right there.
No, reading. No, hold on. Reading and articulate is two different things, right? They're two different things.
No, I would argue the more you read, the better you can articulate yourself.
I would agree that you can articulate and not be a great reader.
How so?
I'm not seeing it. That's the problem.
Right? How so? How do you? Wait, Ruthless. How do you reconcile Malcolm Little going into the penal system and being converted to a Muslim and reading the dictionary and coming out and participating in Berkeley debates, right? How do you reconcile that?
Okay, I mean, now that's saying how the Obama. I mean, there are those who are more talented at articulating. I would agree with that. Like Obama, Martin Luther King.
Yeah, but you can only do that if you read.
Well, no, once again, right? What I am saying is just able to say what you think clearly to your employer while you're getting hired, or when you can communicate to your kids instructions what they need to do day to day to live in this household, or when your significant other or wife or husband, they're able to articulate and make it clear on their thoughts on the pattern of how they're going to get married or how they're going to grow. Those things are very common, and Nobody goes around and just be with people who can't articulate their thoughts because they think they're crazy.
I don't know if somebody else want to jump in. I'm gonna jump down in a minute because it's just easy work for me with Ruthless. Shout out to Ruthless. I don't know how you
Shout out.
lead your family.
Easy victory. Easy victory. Easy victory. Women don't marry or engage, or men don't marry or engage with people who can't articulate. Because then they think that they got mental health. Everybody would think you're crazy if you cannot articulate a simple conversation about what it is that you do, what type of dreams you have. I mean, they would think you're retarded. So I don't know what Rilla was doing. I guess he was bored and tried to pick a fight.
Without,
I thought you were gonna jump in.
I am, but I just don't know how you lead your family without being Ruthless. You're a person that touts the Bible, right? And so the Bible talks about explicitly talks about vision and how people perish for lack of knowledge and all these other things, right? And so if me, because you believe men are the leaders, right? And so
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Wait. No, I didn't say you said it. Have you said it in times past? Wait. Ruthless. Have you said that in times past?
I don't remember. I can't.
You don't remember. Okay. So you don't believe men are leaders of their family. So you don't believe men.
Not anymore. I believe
No. Not the reality. I'm saying, anyway.
Can men be leaders in the military or on a basketball court and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's time for me to drop down. I only pulled up for a second because I saw Ruthless up here. Nyla, salute to you. Taz already know what it is. And Sequoia, it's good to meet you. Good to be on the panel with you. I'll let y'all in a minute, man. Peace, man.
Go articulate in your dreams.
Peace to Ruthless, man.
This dumbass argument. So, the average American can't articulate. The average American can't articulate. Huh?
How's that a dumb argument?
You can't. He said that the average American can't articulate their thoughts. That is, if they can't articulate your thoughts, you're borderline retarded.
And it's reading at an 8th grade level or below.
Reading and articulating are two different things, ma'am.
Reading is what powers your articulation.
It can advance it, yes, but that doesn't mean you can't articulate. Now, can you always enhance it?
What the hell would you be articulating if you can't read?
It depends. It depends on what field you're in, right? If you're a plumber, right, you're able to talk to the customer and articulate to them what work they're going to do on the pipes and all this stuff. Yes, he's able to do that. Now, if you're a politician, and then we could just go on down the line, right? So every person in their field of profession, or I would say something that they excel in, do know how to articulate what they're doing. Companies do not hire or even deal with people who are incompetent in that form. How would they communicate? I mean, you talk about janitors now, who cares about janitor, right? He just clean. But we're just talking about, engineers. I mean, can we keep on nurses? You got to be able to articulate when you're taking a test and they ask questions, you have to articulate how to write the answer. So we're gonna sit here and just say the average American can't articulate and read at the 8th grade level. Now, reading at 8th grade level doesn't mean you can't articulate your thoughts, right? That means you just might read faster than others.
That you're going to be able to talk to. So, like Troy, I'm sure he thinks he's eating today. He said R. Kelly couldn't read, but he could clearly articulate, just like he did on that show with Gail. Okay, he's limited with his vocabulary, honey. When he can't articulate, he can't find his words, Muffin. Okay.
Listen, there are levels to it. I'm not saying that there aren't those who are better articulators. I mean, Obama's on probably the elite of the elite, right?
But it's a little differently.
But basic articulation in day-to-day life, the average American can do, no problem. Even a 15-year-old can articulate at age, I'm going to say 12 years old. Matter of fact, at 10 years old. What are we talking about here? They write essays. You can't graduate if you can't write an essay, or you can't function. And there are special cases of mental health, or
But
stuff
see,
like that. But
just because people can comprehend what you're saying does not mean you were articulate, though. That doesn't
yes, you
mean
can,
you were
because you have.
articulate when you said it.
Yes,
That's not.
it does. Taz, if you write an essay, Taz, before you get on the paper, you have to articulate to come up with structure on the right this paragraph, to articulate to the teacher that you're competent to articulate your thoughts on paper. Come on, man.
No.
You have to articulate that. You can't just copy out the book.
Right. No, you wouldn't need to copy out. So I don't understand where we're going with this, because again, if we're just talking about the limitations that people operate within when they having conversations. You don't think that on YouTube we hear a lot of circular conversations for that reason, because people don't have much to talk about?
Well, I agree with that. Now, if you want to have the conversation about do people need more knowledge or should be able to have more knowledge before they go into a lot of these debates, I would agree. But they're still articulating their points, whether they're wrong or right, or whether they lack the information thereof to substantiate their argument, but they're still articulating, and most of them might disagree with it, or those who are great debaters like you, Taz, can, even though you might know they're right, but you can still win a debate because they don't have the right information to get the win. So articulation is fundamental. Anybody can do it. Easy victory. Easy victory. Anybody can articulate unless they're retarded or mental health issues, right? Easy victory. No doubt. So I don't know what Taz and them are trying to debate that, the average American can't articulate. Articulation is just being able to convey your thoughts onto others. So I don't know what they're talking about. So we can agree that America, even though, now the 8th grade education reading, I would want I don't know. What is the data on that? Who says that? Like, I don't just know people who just 8th grade readers. I mean, how would you quantify that?
Shit, I'll pull it up. If I'm not mistaken, I did that content about 2023. Let me see. Most Americans read at what grade level? Yeah, bro, 7th, 8th grade. Let me see what the source is on this. It say half of Americans read below 6th grade level. Oh, the goofies are here. What's good, Goof?
Everything. Yeah, y'all funny, man, because these women don't really require none of these men to be articulate in the grand scheme of things, because at the end of the day, a lot of them getting knocked up, pregnant, having babies, the niggas they don't even know. So it can't even be that important
Whoa.
for somebody to articulate anything.
No, you can't say that. You can't. I'm not gonna let you get that off. Right? Most women have.
I can't even get nothing off. Well,
we gotta get in there. We gotta debate this.
Well,
most women have men they know.
I can't even finish. You don't even know what you
do. Go do your thing. I just want to just interject.
Okay, I mean, you could get real anal about it, check the numbers if you want to, but I'm just going off the eye test. I see a lot of women out here talking about their standards, and they want a man that's making 6 figures or 8 figures, but I always ask that woman, well, how much money does your man make, or how much money did your ex make? And they kind of get real quiet when we talk about real life situations. So it sounds good on the internet. It's something to say, but the standards women have are really low.
Is this supposed to be directed at me?
Actually, I didn't even really hear what you were saying on the topic, other than y'all was going back and forth about the articulate part. I just can't, I just really realized y'all was up here. I figured I'd drop through because
No, I'm
Taz
the
was
one that
calling for
was
me.
saying that men that I'm the one that brought up articulate, and I stand by that. But I mean, as someone that does not sound very articulate, taking umbrage with that, I can understand that.
Yeah, I didn't actually take umbrage with that, but I'm just telling you that what you're saying is definitely off
Okay, I've seen
base
that, Taz.
because
Based
women
on
don't,
what? Based on
be-
what?
because the standard that you're claiming that quote unquote women have, when I don't know how you can make such a
So
broad
how?
general,
So
I
what?
don't know how you can make
What do
such a
you
broad
have? What do you
generalizing
have to
statement about
substantiate?
women's
What do you
standards.
have to? If the man is
Mhm.
dating, that woman is going to spoil the shit out of
I mean,
I
it's
said you
difficult
on
when
board
that's all
dick.
you're saying,
Everybody know what
though.
that
You
means.
don't you
You is
don't
dick
have
riding board.
anything. You don't have anything beyond that to say, though. To
And being with Floyd made her feel entitled, or made she feel she deserves that lifestyle.
over here, bro.
it. Damn, that's fucked
I
I
up.
see your
probably only
problem.
made a video. I probably only made.
Said that she was like messing around with different dudes and having threesomes and doing all type of stuff.
And I believe the threesome thing now since you're dealing with that poly dude. Now I
And
really believe.
but wait, that one boxer, Savannah, I can't think of her last
Marshall.
name. Yeah, that
Savannah.
white woman, she
Uh-huh.
exposed that they had a relationship, that they messed around, they had sex.
I believe it. It's a lot of shit going on in that boxing ring over there. You know, it's lonely in that little area of life. I feel like you always in the gym, you gonna mess with gym people. You know what I mean? Like people in that area. But okay, I did want to ask you too with the birthday situation. I know they already went over it, but what was the reason why Pat went up there before she went up there? What was that
You know
reason?
what? I don't know, but like,
Mhm.
based on how he did on Christmas, who knows? He might need to stop by the crib first,
On her own recognizance.
or he went and got her and she accepted.
Well, I mean, yeah, she still have a right to
Because
refuse.
we really don't know. But I know like men always love to fantasize about women. Just, oh, I'm coming back because there's nothing. Sometimes men bow down too. I'm not saying sometimes a woman will go back, but sometimes a man will go back and pursue what he fucked up.
I do agree with that. I'm not denying that claim, but
I think the Nelly
typically,
thing making her feel some type of way because she was with Nelly 7 years and she wanted to marry Nelly. They had a whole reality show about her freezing her eggs, and for some reason it just didn't work out. They didn't get married. Now to see him married with his ex, that probably doing something to her mentally. I think that's what it really
You
is.
might be right, Koya. You might be right. I completely forgot about her, and I forgot about her and Nelly.
The reason why I was so surprised by it because I actually lived in Vegas during that.
let's say this, right? Let's say this, right? Let's say we mess with each other for 2 years, just me and her, right? And that on that level, right? That does not make her promiscuous.
All right, I'm
So,
not. All right.
yeah,
Initially, is what I'm trying. What I'm trying to say is, in order
but
for
that's
her to
everybody.
get on your program, it got to be short term, and you trying to smash this week or next week, no later than that, or you
Oh,
gonna blow spot, right?
oh, my,
Is that not what you're
oh, my,
saying?
mm,
You
or I
trying to
might wait.
smash shorty?
So, for example, right? I might wait 6 months, and
Why are
and
you doing
then,
that?
but it's still, well, I'm just saying, right? Because I still want it, just because she doesn't ready, maybe she's not ready,
6 months
but
is like a long relationship, though. That's like a
no, I said,
whole.
okay,
That's like
so
you
remember
really
what
do like it.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if let's just say, we met, everything hit off right, and
6
we
months
just,
is a long relationship.
no,
I mean,
no,
I mean, a lot of people have had relationships that lasted 6 months.
nah,
it's not long.
6 months is about as long as it takes to
grown
get
as
to
hell.
know
That shit
somebody.
don't even count, bro.
It's
6
not.
months
Look,
don't even count, nigga.
6 months is a long time when
welcome to the show, welcome to the show. Their value. So they go and do things. You know what? You do this, I do that. And it's become hit the like button on your way in the door. Thank you for coming.
Not worth it to be in a long. It's actually more harmful to most women to be in close proximity in a long-term relationship with most men, and that they're done. And almost every woman that's currently married will tell you that once if something happens to that within their marriage, they would never ever do that shit again. So I do think you will see what you were saying, Taz, women not going as much as they within the Black community, maybe not so much, because Black women are raised to pedestalize marriage, because so many of them aren't married that they kind of worship it. But once enough Black women get married and they realize, like, yeah, it wasn't what we thought it was, and we should have listened to our grandmothers, what they were telling us, I think you will see a difference.
Well, I do have to, the part about Black women worshiping marriage, I have to disagree vehemently with you. I do believe they worship money and self-love. Their ideology is love myself. That is the new and superior ideology of women, Black, white, Latina, etc. Right? So marriage, a lot of Black women aren't looking to marry guys. They're looking to take their money, right? They want you to pay my bills. If you want to deal with me, hey, you're going to pay my bills or what? Or else we're not going to even have conversation, nothing, right? So women are being...
That pay your bills to, like Taz saying, that's a fucking illusion. Like, I didn't start hearing until the Kevin Samuel six-figure conversation happened. I was not hearing anybody say that before that whole conversation started happening, because that's not the reality. People are not really, unless you're in a marriage, these women aren't really getting their bills paid like that from these men, because men, they simply can't afford it. And it's not even men's fault. That's just the economy that we're living in right now, with this illusion that you get with a man and he's paying for his whole life and your whole life too. That's not the reality of the situation. That's just some social media shit, for real.
So once again, right? So this is what they do. There's two ways. There's a multifaceted way they go about getting guys to pay their bills, right? There's directly, indirectly, and so those two ways. So indirectly, directly, maybe like a sugar daddy, or some guy who just worships the ground she walks on. He'll do anything for her, and he'll pay her bills. That's a direct approach. But then indirectly, they go to strip club, OnlyFans, Figueroa, right? And indirectly have get the money from the men. So either way, they're abstracting that money, and they're doing whatever they got to do to get that money. Women are in survival mode, right? And to insist because things are more expensive. Like you said, I do agree with you, because of things more expensive. And men are in survival mode, but how we deal in survival looks different, right? Men, when we get in survival mode, we become, want to go rob something, or we might want to go and scam something. We go steal some money. Women, they're selling themselves, right? So this is an indirect way of abstracting resources for men, and it is growing by the day. So yeah, that women don't want the relationship with the man. They don't want the marriage for the man. They don't want the value. They don't want to be tied to a man for their value. So they go and do things and say, you know what? You do this, I do that. And it's become more transactional. And I say with the next 5 years, maybe as soon as 3 years, you will probably, you approach a woman, she's probably going to tell you, this is how much this is the money I want for my service. Or there are even women that are saying that dudes got to give deposits to go on a date with them. They look for date deposits.
And that's coming to, like, she's hustling backwards. I make more money. I can make more money in my career just working a few extra hours a week of overtime. I don't have the little amount of money that I would extract from another man that's working a 9 to 5 just like I am is not worth the stress of dealing with him that it will come with. That is hustling backwards. Only the women.
Welcome to the show, Mela. Mela, the truth teller. But that's the facts though. Women, they don't want to be in a relationship with men anymore. But they still want the money from men. They still want the sex from men. And not all men, right? They might get money from 4 guys and only have sex with 1 guy. But women don't value men like they used to. Simple.
Women that y'all refer to, like you said, the OnlyFans women, the sex workers, the Section 8 hood rats. Y'all be talking type of women. Y'all are not talking about are actually out here grinding in America, because nobody, the $50,000-$60,000 man, that's not worth it for what women would have to put up with. Like this whole idea of being transactional. The problem with men is that you all think that taking a woman out to eat, that a woman has to give you her body, or you deserve something just for being kind to a woman, and that you think is you think dating, you think taking a woman out on a date means that you need to extract something from her. That's what the problem is. We're not talking about no big time money here, because nobody has that, right?
Well, I'll have to respectfully disagree. There are people with big money, but the dating part, the taking out part, is what you guys. That's what y'all expect, right? That's part of y'all expectations, right? So when a guy comes up and say, ain't no guy just now. I disagree with you. There are women in the corporate sleeping their way to the top, Joy Taylor, et cetera, right? And there's a lot more. But when it comes to the dating part, women run the dating market, right? They run the relationships, they run the marriages. They dictate how men acquiesce to what the women want. So when you say, well, you take a girl out on a date and you pay for her dinner, you're expecting sex. Most men, if they take a girl out to dinner, they're not necessarily expecting sex, but the hope that does happen, because come on, she's attracted to her. I mean, he wants her, she wants him. So why play games, right? But some women will want to play the game and do 2 or 3 dates before they do it. That's subjective, right? But ultimately, come on, we're adults. When a man approaches, you give him the keys to approach, right? You dictate whether you guys are going to go on a date or not. And obviously, if you go on a date with him, you want him. But women, I don't know why they want to play the ring around a prosy, pocket full of Trozy game. I don't understand that. Let's keep it real.
No, and this is what I mean when I said arrested development. Like that whole mindset, like it's a childish mindset. When you go out on a date with somebody, we're getting to know each other. That's normal. Just because we're the opposite gender and we may find each other physically attractive does not mean we just.
And this is the unrealistic conversation of, oh yeah, when we go on a date, sex isn't even a part of the thought process. Well, what about the law of attraction? Right? You're attracted to him and you want, the woman desires and the man desires, we both desire to eventually have sex with each other. I don't get what she's talking about, right? Ain't nobody just meeting a strange guy, giving them the phone number and having them pick them up and they not want to give none. Right now, I don't know about that, right? I just think women want to they want to play the game, right? Of whatever, man.
Just got to automatically start smashing like we're fucking robots or something like that. There's nothing wrong with going back to talking on the phone and hanging out with somebody 3 or 4 times before you decide that you actually like this person, because you're not gonna get to know somebody within just 1 date. But men are just so fucking, your brains are so eroded with pornography and all of this degenerate shit that y'all just, every time you see a woman, it just a button or something turns on your mind. So it was like, I gotta fuck. And see, that's what one of the things I was saying. It's like dealing with men, it's just not even worth it. The fact that y'all have
well, Corey, I mean, you guys do run to the rap concerts and chasing the rappers, the athletes, you guys do make yourself available for men sexually, to get those men. I mean, not you per se, right? But in general, women chase status. Those guys of high status. They also, a lot of them chase married men. So we're not going to sit here and just put this jacket on men. I'm not saying we're perfect, but us men and women, we want the same thing, right? Women just want to get paid for it. That's the only difference, right? They want to marry. They're huh?
I think now because most men are lacking in character so much, it's like, damn, I can't get if I can't get this. This is what how a woman that is after a man's money. This may be how she's thinking. It's not how I think necessarily, but it's like because men literally have nothing else to offer by way of character. I guess a woman is saying, can I at least need to get something tangible from this relationship because I'm not going to get anything else. I'm not going to get I'm not going to get intellect from this man. I'm not going to get emotional maturity. I'm not going to get a good representation of a male from my child. So let me just get some money because this is literally all a nigga got. And it is like, and most of them ain't even got that at this point. So that's why I'm just saying it's simply not even worth it for a woman. So that's why I agree with you as far as the long-term relationship goes.
Well, and let me clear that up though, right? Because what you said there was a lot. What women are going through as far as their need for men has everything to do with them, not the man exactly, right? It's the man that they create in their head. And when they go out with guys, right? Now, we cannot sit and argue biology, right? I mean, I know we're not going to really, and then you say, the biology of people being attracted and wanting to have sex with people, that is pretty normal. It's just like war, right? War of an attraction, that's the way of life, right? People produce, some women want to have sex with men, maybe not a lot of men, but there are guys that they choose up on. Top of the morning, Taz. Top of the morning, everybody. Top of the morning. Welcome to the show. Hit the like button on your way in. What's up, King's Picks? I know they was King's Picks. That's what they do. Vice versa, maybe, and men want the same thing. So we all, at the end of the day, we all have wants and our needs, right? And desire, most humans are led by their desire. And women desire men, and they will have sex with men that they desire. And it just, what happened, the only thing that's happening now is they're starting to monetize it. Because now, and I do agree with you, that men do act a little thirsty. We do act like we do too much, like we don't have no sort of filtered, like, hey, we need to back up, we need to stop acting this way towards these women, like acting like we just can't live without them. And I do believe women are taking advantage of that, and it kind of turns them off a little bit. But in the other realm of life, right, we do have men who do play the game well, right, who do go to the courting and vetting, right, and do and providing for these women, and they still get left, right? Women are still leaving, and largely is because if they don't feel happy in that situation anymore, which that can change. I think somebody said people change, and a lot of women, those feelings and emotions can change. In a lot of cases, I'm not saying men leave too. We do change too. If she gains a little weight, right? She doesn't look as good as she used to. It's a low percentage, but it still happens, right? So there is no guarantee of forever when somebody's dealing with an individual anyway, right? Everybody should have that expectation that, oh, you know what, I love this person, but ain't no guarantee, so let me enjoy it while it lasts. But I do say that you do have to, on both sides, accountability of, what expectations. Women expectations are much more detailed. Now you're the one of the ladies who shout out, right? And maybe you had a relationship that just didn't work out, right? And you're like, you know what, I can do this by myself. Kudos, right? Most women are lazy though. They don't want to work. They don't want to get an education. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to. They rather go lay on their back and get the money from their sugar daddy. They want the easy way, right? Most women, especially the younger ones, they want the easy way, right? They whether, well, I can have this guy and these 5 guys that I'm dealing with and pay this bill, pay that bill. And I ain't got to go to school. I ain't got to go to work and be hustling. Women are lazy. They don't want to really do those things, right? And large, right? And this is what we have to understand, that women they want the easy way of life. And this is the only reason they deal with men, because they want to extract their resources. And that's the easier way to get to stability for them, and they will continue to do that.
I'm here. I'm ordering me something to eat. What's good?
Oh,
No, I'm here. I just I get toned up.
What you on the bus?
Lose my goddamn thoughts.
The bottom line is women will continue to sell themselves. Anything for the back. Will continue to do whatever it takes in their minds, financial, stability. And if they got to take men's money and pretend and deceive them and whatever they got to do, they're going to do it. Women are survivors, man, and they are savage when they do it. So we got to stop pretending like women ain't out here on a mission to take things from people. We got to stop being delusional. Sound like you in a sub.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, just the background. Sound like you're on the subway or something.
All right, hold on. Hold on.
good human being I'm talking about. The average male is not a decent human being.
So would you ladies agree that you know the thing I learned in the feds after I lost my trial, you know what they told me? They offered me 3 points for accepting responsibility, right? And you women and men have to take responsibility for your part in things that go wrong. And I'm not saying it's all your fault, but once again, we all have a part in our destruction. So we just can't put it on one person and say, well, because ain't nobody perfect. So if we're on a quest to look for somebody who's, then because you're setting yourself up for failure for sure. Because ain't nobody, and you're not perfect. So you got to understand that you're tough to deal with too, right? You have some things about you that have to be adjusted, need to be dealt. Like, oh man, I need to go smoke a blunt, right? And then we all do. I'm not saying this. So when we sit here and point fingers and distract ourselves from being part of the problem, then there's no healing.
What?
If you do not accept your responsibility in the roles of the things of your imperfections that led to the things that went wrong, then you were never able to see.
Oh, I do take responsibility for being in a relationship as long as I did. That's what I take responsibility for. I'm not going to take responsibility for somebody else's poor behavior and abuse.
So you say you did nothing wrong?
But whatever I did wrong, that was never, I think thing only got pointed out what I was doing wrong when I pointed out what was being done wrong to me. So
okay, so
if anybody, it doesn't matter if it's a relationship or not. If somebody comes to me and tell me that I offended them in any type of way, or I violated them for whatever reason, yeah, as a woman, I can take responsibility for whatever. But no, that's not how it is. Most of the time, because people can't take criticism or people don't like taking accountability, when you accuse them or hold up a mirror to them or point out their bad behavior, instead of them saying, okay, I'm going to change or I'm going to do better, they're just going to say, well, you did this or you did that. That's the reason why I did this. But they didn't say that before.
Okay,
right?
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I do agree with that. We both parties do that, and I don't think that's healthy, right? But I do think people are delusional. Both parties can be delusional to think that that a person that they meet ain't gonna have some sort of imperfection. That's why they wrote the wedding vows. And I'm not saying you were married, but when they wrote the wedding vows, they wrote it in a way as such that, look, at this person that you're tying yourself to, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to see things you might not like, or you might be triggered. Are you ready for these serious commitment, right? And I'm not. That's a little extreme, but let's go back to the relationship part, right? Even when you're entering a relationship of that sort of commitment, there is a level of forgiveness that you have to have, right? To understand that people in this world are going to have imperfections of some way, something that you might not agree with, something you might not like. But love is supposed to conquer that. And then once you love them enough to conquer that, that's where the forgiveness and ability to move on and keep building goes forward, right? But I do agree with you, but when you throw it in your face, oh, well, I did this because you did that, then there could be no growth.
Yeah, I don't know. It sound like niggas be still like living in old relationships, trying to one up some shit and never got over a past. Like I don't know, man. I don't. Sometimes it sounds like it's masking something, because I don't know what I be hearing when single men talk these days. Like especially when they get up to like your age, Rufus, you too old for that shit.
12 for what, Taz?
Like to not be married and have like a larger view of some of the just life's issues. It's like you still live within the I just got out of prison mindset, and you didn't. You've been out, nigga, like 15 years, haven't you?
A little more than that. A little more than that. But yeah.
That shit behind you, but sometimes it don't sound like it.
Well, Taz, I'm just speaking to the point of my experiences, right, with women. And I understand one thing clearly, right? People change. The person you met 3 years don't mean they're going to be the same in year 4 or 5, right? And sometimes this person that shows up in year 4 or 5 is not the person you fell in love with or that you signed up for. So we do have an understanding. This is why the divorce rate is very high, right? Very, very astronomical. That is because people change. Now, when we talk about judging people for the things that they're bad at doing, like for example, you meet a guy or girl and you guys get along, you guys have a good 3-year run, everything's good, but then there are some things that we can consider maybe deal breakers, like alcoholic, drug use, something like that. That can you have to do what you have to do. Or even violence, right? But when it comes to, in my opinion, a lot of these cases don't be those things. It be, people grow apart, right? Some people just grow apart, and there's a lack of poor communication skills. It's very difficult to sometimes grow into a situation where you guys can have a good line of communication to carry you guys over. So what happens? It shuts down. People ignore each other. This is where you get sexless marriages. This is where you get.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. But that's why I would disagree at growing apart, because as that process is happening, you're supposed to be dealing with that though. You can't just let that happen. You can't just grow apart.
I agree.
That's something you're supposed to do something about that. Before it actually plays out.
I don't agree with that. That's conflict resolution. That's conflict resolution, which is another skill, right? But once again, most couples don't have this skill, right? It's very difficult. Conflict resolution is probably the most important skill you would have to develop if you want to have a successful long-term relationship. It is like water, right? And you have to have it because there are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be trials and tribulations. This is what comes with time, right? With the journey. And a lot of people just ain't built for these things, right? Some of these people are petty. Some of these people are very become more selfish, self-centered, egotistical, narcissists, right? And this is a tendency to create cancer in a relationship. So, and that's why Ruthless understands this, right? And Ruthless understands that why would I want to go down that path when there's a 97 to 98% chance that these things are going to take place, when I can be perfectly happy with the situation that I'm in right now and die in peace.
97% chance that it's going. I mean, that is insane, bro. That's what I'm like. Just the other people with that negativity, bro. Like, it's not always like that. That is insane, bro.
Taj, you have to be realistic. I know you've been married for a long time and you've been out the game, but you have to understand in 2026, it is a 97, 98% chance that you and your significant other are going to not get along, and it's going to be very difficult to reconcile all your differences.
Nobody gets along perfectly, bro. Like, my wife ain't fucking perfect. I don't get along with her every moment of the goddamn day. I'm not perfect. Like, I don't understand like this logic here. Like, every fucking moment is supposed to be a goddamn Hallmark card. Like, come on, fam. Like there's gonna be disagreements. It like where the question is this the person you want to be with? Conflict resolution, like regular shit, not this over the top shit. Like, it just don't work. Like, what are we talking about?
And I would agree. Once again, I agree with you, right? But if I thought this was even 50%, I've been married already, right? I can like get in a relationship and be married to like in the end of this year, but I don't, because of women's independence and her growth as a separate entity. I do believe women are divorcing men, divorcing themselves from men mentally, and
they are. I mean, like mentally, right?
Yeah, mentally,
yeah. Right? Not physically.
Right, not physically, right? Mentally, they're divorcing themselves from men mentally, and they're taking the career or self-love, self-preservation.
Why is that so concerning? Like, because I'm saying it's so, like, again, if you're just looking for one woman, it's just like just one. I don't know why every single woman on the planet matters. If we just about what?
Because it's the one that it seems like that's not there right now. If you find her, you found your little, you get these you will be considered.
You know me acting like it ain't no women out here, bro. This is insane, bro.
There's women out here. There is women out here, but is it a person that you can be around 10, 15 years and get along with them and be able to do all those things like conflict resolution and we see through the numbers that this has been more difficult to do, and a large because I hate to, I don't want to just make it about the females, but I'm a little heavy-handed because they're the ones exercising. They're exercising their rights as being autonomous and free to do as they please, and they're the ones leaving the most. So I will have to kind of, look at them a little bit more. And I'm not going to say it's all their fault, but what I will say is this. It is concerning that with so many, with 800,000 divorces a year, it's a million divorces a year, and 800,000 of them filed by women. It's very concerning that a man tread carefully with his independent, I don't need a man, I can do this all by myself. These women out here selling themselves, prostituting themselves out, or whatever that case may be, to say, hey, man, there's got to be a woman I can love and marry and be together and not divorce. That just seems, for guys now, Taz, very concerned that it's not going to happen, right? And it's not that they don't want to be participants, but they're not allowed.
Incel talks, bro. For real, man. It's incel talk, ruthless. Like you're making it sound like this, like there's just no chance, it's over, give up. And again, you haven't done that. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna do that. So it's just not reflective of a reality, bro. Like you gonna still have your fun. You trying to get up with women often. Like why make it sound like you're not having fun and enjoying the women and whatnot?
Well, actually, I am.
I know.
I actually am. I think women perform better in this new formula that I come up with, right? I've seen more progress and it's more valuable to me. They become more valuable to me in this form. And they're happy with it. They're happy with it. And I'm happy with it. And it's been, to me, very productive. I just seen that every long-term relationship that I've had, my longest long-term relationship was 5 years. And it just seemed like those things are just very tiring. And, I don't go into detail, but the short term, and then it's day by day, minute by minute, is no pressure. We don't have to, I don't have, they got their own play. They do their own thing. I do my thing. When we come together, we enjoy each other. And then we go off our way and text here and there, phone call here and there, link back up, and we do it again, right? I think that is, to me, I'm happy with the situation. I'm not trying to force feed a free woman who wants to be free. I'm not trying to do that. And you know what? And I don't want to. So yeah, it is there.
Force feed a free woman who wants to be free. You just saying shit, bro.
That's what they want to do, guys. They don't want to be married. They want to be free. These women out here love their freedom. They don't want their values tied to a man anymore. They no longer value men like they used to. This is a new era.
Right. Yep. Right.
Like
this is a new era.
Listen, man. What I do not believe y'all or him. Okay, because again, when it comes down to it, those are ways to get men drawn into the conversation that women want to have. Men are glad you're having it, so now they want to dangle the little carrots and shit. Like this is foolish. None of this stuff is real. Nobody's leaving anybody. Nobody's stopping dating anybody. None of this shit.
Listen. Just because this is your platform, this is the only reason why I'm having this conversation. I would never be in any other space on anybody else's panel having a conversation with a man about anything. I personally advocate for women to completely ignore dudes. Like when I see them online arguing and
don't advocate for that no more.
Me too.
No, I ain't no. Huh? I don't support that no more.
Me too.
No.
We don't support it no more.
2026, man. Speak to these men, be nice, and smile like motherfuckers.
Wait,
no.
We're not going down these lanes of being mean to people and shit.
Shut up.
Like y'all crazy.
No. I'm not saying be mean to people, but the engage, the rage baiting and stuff, like just willingly, like every single day, some man to put a on threads. Now you see it all. Men rage baiting. It's comment in there defending themselves. Like all y'all gotta do is ignore these dudes, and they gonna have to find something.
I think like there's no sense in arguing with people online. It's like for real. And based on what we were talking about earlier, argue with you if you agree or not. I'm not doing it.
I agree with that. That there's no need to argue.
Just take into consideration, like you thinking that you're going to be able to have a bunch of short-term relationships with a bunch of random women. What you got to understand is that there's only a handful of women whose self-esteem is low enough to that would enter into a situation like that with a man. And I'm not even saying that to be funny or disrespectful. I'm just saying with that type of mindset, is only a handful of women that will be desperate enough to even into a situation like that. Like men aren't even likable enough of that situation. That's too much. Talking about hit me on the nerve. No, you're not likable enough. Leave me alone. I would not be around you. Not you personally, but that's really where it's really for me. Women are a little different. No, absolutely, 99% of men. Most of my interactions with men now is strictly because I have like some like their pack or it's a business transaction, a maintenance man or something.
Wow. Okay, this is insane.
But there's women out here that are just like her, right? A lot of women. But they're all different.
Like, bro, it's about just like her, bro. Come on, bro.
These women out here, they're okay. So some of these women are saying they hate men, right? They don't like men. They just don't like us.
Bro, they be mad for a minute, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Bro, like, y'all gotta stop taking that shit serious, bro. Like, bro, like my wife, but like 2 or 3 years ago, bro, my wife hated all these niggas online. Every man on the world except for me, her son, and her dad. Okay. Like if it wasn't for the sons and me and her dad, she probably would hate men all across the board. Okay. She's not doing that no more. She like that phase wore off. Okay, women get mad, fam, at niggas. They look at us across the board. Fuck you niggas. They hate us 2-3 years, but they let it go, fam. Like that's we gotta stop capitulating to the conversation with them from that angle. Like for real.
That's not the truth. You gotta be a truth teller. Here, let me tell you something, Taz. Like on some for real shit. Until I came to you and Nyla's platform, I mean, granted, this was back in like 2018, 2019. It was a different time back then. I had no idea any of this shit ever existed. Manosphere, Red Pill, none of this, all of this was completely new to me. After I spent time in this space, gauging the mindset, seeing you expose these men back to back, expose their mentality.
Don't say that shit loud, man. I'm trying to keep that shit off the record.
Listen, and then I go into the real world. I'm seeing these mentalities play out in real life. I'm hearing men in my real life say stuff that I heard in the conversations that y'all were having. I just couldn't go back to having the same mindset that I had before. So no, I don't hate men. I'm indifferent. Like they don't make me no difference in my life. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't hate them. I don't wish harm on men. I can actually be. I have male friends. It's just it's not what they think it is anymore. They're not that important to me, but that's not a bad thing. I'm not that important either.
And I 100% agree. And I believe a lot of women think like you, especially the younger women, right? They are really pushing it. Yeah, they're out here putting hands on dudes, pulling up on dudes, talking about why you didn't answer your phone, why you turn your location on, and they videotape these things and they put it on Instagram, right? That they put hands on these men, and these men are not fighting back. A lot of these men are not fighting back because they just don't want to fight the women. But the women are throwing hands like they ain't just doing those slap boxing. They throwing fisticuffs. So
why you turn your location off is crazy.
Yeah, I had a girl. They out here pulling up on this. Well, you can tell you look at. Matter of fact, why didn't you answer my call? Why you put my stuff? Why you let my listen? They're even saying if you like a chick's picture, you're in violation, and they will do something to you, or even leave you. So women are pushing the line of supremacy, while at the same time they want this dominant.
I don't know if I disagree with that though. That's probably a video or even a panel, but I don't know if you're supposed to be liking motherfuckers' pictures though, bruh. That shit don't look right, bruh. Motherfucker ain't got no business on your page, liking your picture and whatnot. Like if you married and all of that shit, like it's probably better to not be liking pictures, just because of how people can manipulate it.
And well, that's at the discretion of you two, the two individuals living their life together, right? And that's if that was the conclusion or contract agreement, Yeah.
That's shit to just be smart and not even open up the door for it. Because while motherfuckers say it's cool, it's all cool until you like the wrong picture. Fuck that.
But
bro.
here's what I would say. Here's what I would say this, guys. Men are complying with women's orders in large. There are, not only do they worship the ground these women walk on, men feel like they can't live without women. They love women so much that they're willing to get on these panels and go back and forth because they want them back. Men are, you don't hear men saying they don't need women. You don't hear that. Men want to marry, they want to care, all that stuff. The only reason men aren't doing it because women are saying. So they're complying and they're adapting and acquiescing to the woman's demands, and they're just getting in where they fit in. That's what's happening. Women are on the show.
They used to say it very often, but they stopped saying it though. These men used to always talk about how they didn't need women. Now you hear less of that. But I just, like I said, I don't think that makes anything wrong. I think that's normal for men to want women around, want to talk to women, want to deal with women. I think you're abnormal with your position.
Yes, I'm an outlier. I'm an outlier. They pay many dudes that pay money to get me up out of here for that, just for that rhetoric. Yeah, men. Oh man, like I said, if women, I wouldn't be surprised if you see women walk around with men on chains in the future.
Come on, man.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Jumping out the window.
Men need to get back to the place. Yeah, on chains.
Women, they. You see what happened to 21 Savage? He said he was
the robots, but they could be walking on goddamn men.
He said he was with Kylie Jenner. He pressed up against the wall not to seem like he was close to her, and he said, "I have to answer to Lotto." So men, and this 21 Savage, this guy's got status, and so you can imagine the average man. Especially if she's a pretty girl. Yeah, he's doing do whatever she said. What she said goes.
I mean, I just think it's a fact of the matter, fam. When you got some type of status and whatnot, it's always a chance that the shit might look wrong or whatnot. So you just play it smart. You never know who watching. You never know what spin they might try to put on it. So you just deal with it like somebody always watching on some bullshit. I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame you one bit.
And I don't have no problem with men if that's the route they want to go. I have no problem with that. But the problem I have is women are still. I don't know why they're complaining when men are trying to acquiesce to everything. There's men out here willing to pay girls' bills and not even in a relationship with them. Men are willing to do that. Men are willing to. There's a men out here that.
I guess. So what about Koya's argument though that even that becomes somewhat of a problem because it's not like they can pay their own bills rather than have to deal with him. Like they lose more dealing with him.
If she's independent, strong, she has that, but she has that option is still there though, right? And a lot of women are taking that option because women, they hate paying bills. Most women hate paying bills, and they prefer that a man, if they can get a man to pay their bills and put all their money up, they would prefer that. 96, 97% of women prefer that. She's an outlier to say that, oh, well, I won't accept no money. She's an outlier. Most women, they're taking that. That's why they friend zone a lot of these guys, right? And these friend zone guys pay just to be in their presence.
You sound like you know about that.
Yeah, I don't get friend zone, but I know a lot of white guys and Asian dudes get friend zone all the time. Black guys don't typically get friend zone. We're not friend zone worthy. Now, there's some of us, there are a few of us, but most, we got a little more swag. But the white dudes, the Asians, and the Indian dudes, they get friend zone left and right.
It's truth.
Nah.
That sounds crazy, bro. Go ahead, Koya.
I really honestly feel like men have came on social media came online and just completely rewrote the whole narrative, lied about everything, because this whole idea that these men just been wanting to get married and want to do right by women, and women just completely rejecting them. And then they read a feminism book and they like, no, we don't want nothing from you men but money. That's all cap. Like, listen, when I was growing up and I was seeing all of the women around me at a young age, all married, end up becoming single mothers, getting abused, getting mistreated, and just accepting it because they wanted to keep their families together, whether it was because of religion or whether it was because they just loved the man so much. I knew in my mind, even at a young age, something was wrong with the relationship dynamics. And I was always thinking to myself, how long are women are going to allow this just for the sake of being in a relationship? And I knew at some point, even though I didn't really understand what I was looking at, I knew at some point women were it was gonna flip. But this idea that men just come online and they want to go all the way back to the 60s and say, oh, black women 60 years ago just kicked them all out the house and went with the white women and nothing has ever been right since. I just think it's just all cap. Even this whole money thing. I know so many women who are willing to pay not pay men's bills, but they have no problem with paying for dates. They have no problem with getting nothing from a relationship as far as like financial gain goes. But this is what men are saying and using just to cope, because they don't have it in them to be they have no idea what it takes to be a good partner because they wasn't taught that. They don't have those skills.
So
Like
I'm going to have to refute that, because the only reason I'm going to have to refute it is the numbers don't support your argument. Because number one is majority of men are betas. Majority dominate are betas, right? Meaning, I'm saying majority of men are betas, right? They're right. Women typically deal with a small percentage of men like that are, that got the swag, got all the this. These are minorities, right? Most men are average and don't have the access to women like that. So when they do get a chance to get that access, but it's like winning the Super Bowl. So I cannot agree with you when you say that. Oh, and this has been always throughout the time, right? It's always been good-looking guys, which are the minority, get a gang of women, but most guys are average or below average, and they're beta, right? They're not alpha, right? Most men, alphas are minorities. So therefore, when you say that, oh, there's women that have suffered, right? You're probably speaking of an anecdotal. You've seen something. I'm not saying you're lying, but on a large scale, in totality, most men are going to listen to their women because they want to be led by their women because they're beta. That's their minority. Most men aren't leaders. They don't want to be. They just want to pay the bills. Back in the day, pay the bills, get a check to my grandma. Grandma pay all the bills and she run the house and made it sit there and eat their meal. And that's what they did, right? That was the dynamic. So when you say those, oh, well, I don't know what's wrong with this dynamic. Women have always won in the Western civilization. Let me make that clear. Women have always been winning. They've always controlled the house. There are some Ike Turner cases. I'm not going to say those didn't exist, but those are minority. Majority of men, they are beta or even simps, right? And who dominate, these are the guys who dominate the dating market, right? And these are the guys who get crushed the most, right? These are guys who women be dogging the most. The good man they call. Oh, why? And this is the debate. Well, why women don't change? Why are they going after Lil Durk, this rapper guy who got all these women and all this. And but they don't. They pass up the guy. They pass up the guy who's an accountant major, and he makes $58,000 to $65,000 a year, and he's ready to be faithful. So
listen,
I can't say that you run.
No, that's another lie that these dudes like to tell too. Y'all want to make it seem like the majority of black men are nerds and y'all all into like technology. No, that's not the case.
No, but Koya, don't forget they think that being a nerd is because, or being smart means you like anime.
Right. Like
actually the majority. So, and I made this argument right here, and this is where it's going to be the win. This is for the win.
It's for the win.
This is and because it helps you guys out. I'm against. There's a lot of guys that speak against single mothers, right? They say, "Oh, single moms are the reason why the community is this or this or that," right? And my counter argument to that is, leave single moms alone, because if you look at the country, right, majority of Americans, no matter single mother or double parent, are going to live an average life and have an average lifestyle, right? They're going to get a job, they're going to go to work. Majority in the hood. So majority of dudes in the hood are not the gang members, are not the drug dealers, are not the majority, even in the black neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. Even in the black neighborhood, the 9 to 5 guys are the majority. They work at the post office, they do these things. They're the majority guys. They are the nerds. I would not necessarily nerds, but I would say average guys who do average things will dominate every neighborhood across the world. Period.
Maybe. No, that's probably true now. But if we're talking about, I was talking about what I was seeing growing up, and that wasn't the case. It just wasn't. You got men that were pimps. I got plenty of them. That's in my family. You got men that sold drugs. You got the gang bangers. You got the hustlers who just did whatever.
Those are minority. Those are minority.
No, it wasn't. It
Pimp,
wasn't.
Pimps is one pimp for one pimp is one pimp average. Listen, one pimp every 1 million men.
Huh?
You know that, right? One pimp for every 1 million men. For every 1 million men, there's a pimp.
Well, listen, that's like I said, that's probably true for right now. But back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, no, that was not the case because there was other factors. There was other things going on in that time. So I don't even blame. I'm not even like necessarily demonizing them because it was a different time back then. But my point is that the women dated the men that were in their neighborhoods and in their environments. Like, y'all expect the average young black girl to go date a fucking astronaut? No, she's gonna go date King Von and Little Dirk and whoever else is in O Block because that's what because
now,
that's what
I would say this. Would I say this? Once again, you're talking about minority. Pimps are minority. Even back in the 60s, the 50s, once again, the average working class was a dominant factor.
Listen, my brother
even in the black neighborhood.
I got a brother in prison doing 25 years right now for pimping. So, I'm
not saying that pimping. I'm not saying pimping minority. Just for one pimp, there's a million men. Most 98% of men will never be a pimp or don't have the ability. They're beta.
Bar, that was a bar. Ruthless. Look, wifey ain't like that. That was a bar.
See, I'm not talking about men on the scale. We're just talking about our community, right?
Right. I'm talking about. Listen, I ain't talking about black men, right? With just 14 million of us. For 14 million men, there's only like probably 3 pimps. Come on, it's just never less. Most men are beta or average, right?
Blew it with that shit, man.
No, I'm serious. Ain't no. Listen, pimps ain't even the most dominant.
Just because
they're not even pimp. Listen,
just because you're denying. I mean, most of y'all are in denial. Just because you're saying that doesn't make it true. Now, I don't have. I don't think no data on pimps, right? There's no data. There's no data. But you're not listening to what I'm saying, though. I'm agreeing with you. If we're talking about right now in the last 20, 30 years,
even in the 60s. Even in the 60s. If anything, I'll lend to your argument. I lend to your argument if you're talking about drug dealers, right? Then now there's more of them and gang members. They outnumber pimps. Like 50 to 1.
You're stuck on pimps, and I'm talking about those. I'm talking about all of them.
Okay, all of them, and they're still the minority, right? The majority of men are average Americans.
Yes, in 2026, yes, majority of men are average Americans.
In the 60s too. In the 60s too, majority of black men were accountants. They were nurses. They had jobs in the field, construction.
history does not reflect a majority of men
Yeah.
being. No, that's just
We
it's
would
not
all
true.
be in jail. We would all be locked up.
I mean, a great deal were and have been.
No,
Like,
no. Jailhouse population is the minority. It's not even 1%. Always. So once again, right, we're speaking to the minority. The majority of Black Americans are average workers, period. The minority are rich, some become rich, athletes, whatever. Then the minority are degenerates, whatever they're doing. They're the minority. The prison population is less than 1% and always been less than 1% of the population. So therefore, we're not in the overrun. And America is very proactive at going after crime people. So we know that majority of people the prison system be a lot more bigger. So again, when we make these accusations that we most Black Americans lived in an average household. Dad went to work,
20 years or
mom,
something like that. What did you do 20 years?
she worked, and they raised the household. Mom
Why
had 16, 12 kids.
were you in prison?
Come on. Yeah. You know what I
What
mean?
did you
Now, is she breaking up or is it me? What'd you say?
No, up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
No, I asked him what did he go to prison for?
I went to prison for bank robberies. I was
Okay.
I was a gangster, but
Right.
and
Right.
I take full responsibility. I take full responsibility for my action, but I never applied any of those things on my woman. That was a separate life, right? When I was with my woman, I'm chill, I'm kick back, and then she like, "Where you going?" I'll be back. I'm gonna get this money, right? I was on an ambitious trail to success. It might not have been the best thing, but it had nothing to do with my house.
Wait, bro, hold on. Just to be clear, nigga, you finna go rob a bank and you say I'll be back? Like that?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was 20, 21 years old, Taz. I didn't care. Yeah, we was with, this Cali, right? We big time. That was like an everyday thing. But what I'm saying is that once I got that money from the bank, I took my girl shopping and we did our thing. I had a mini mansion. I took care of her. She had to find her thing and I had to find her thing. Then I went to jail. But what I'm saying is,
So why did your woman choose to be with you, a bank robber, as opposed to all of those other men who had 9-to-5s and was working regular jobs?
because of the lifestyle I provided for her. That was part of it. That was part of it. She was, she was having designer, all that stuff at her early age. Come on, she was shining. She was shining on them other women. She was talking to my man got, so I mean, she liked it too. She loved it too.
My man,
right?
my
She loved
man.
the benefit. Yeah, that's why women love Pookies and Ray Rays. It ain't because Pookies and Ray Rays are because they go get money. They take risk. Women like men that take risks, who are ambitious. Don't know women want a man who is settled. That's why the average man is getting wrecked by these beautiful women. Oh, he boring. He ain't gonna take no risk. Yeah.
Bro, you just saying stuff.
Women, especially black women, boy. Black women love go-getters. They don't want nobody just gonna sit around the house and look, talking about we gonna live off this $50,000 a year. They want to do is gonna move mountains. That's what women are attracted to.
I don't think they love Pookies and Ray like y'all say though.
No, they don't love us. They use us. Okay, they use us because they know that we're gonna make shit happen.
Y'all got to.
They don't love us like.
Y'all got to put your talking points together. One minute you say the majority of men are in Pookies and Ray Rays, but then y'all will say 80% of black women are with the Pookies and Ray. Like it's like y'all, it's never any consistency. So
yeah, Pookie be having 10, 12 chicks he dealing with. Pookie he done ran through the whole block. He got all the girls.
So are the majority of black men or not?
That what?
Are the majority of black men Pookies and Ray Rays, or are they all regular?
No, they're not. Majority of men are regular average, but Pookies and Ray Rays have access to all the women that the average guys don't, right? Because average guys who live average lives, they listen to their parents. They're not out. They got to be in the house by 6 p.m. Where Pookie and Ray Ray out all night, so they're going and picking up these women through the whole neighborhood. These guys having 20, 30 women.
You talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm talking about like teenagers, right? That's where it kind of starts, right? Where they're getting all the chicks because they're out all times of night. They have to comply to no structure. They've got their own structure. Where average guys who are going to school and doing, those things, they got to be in by 6. They ain't gonna have time to get these girls. So that's why women love Pookies, because access to the finer things in life. Women love to win. That's one thing about women. They care about winning. And if they see a winner, that's what turns them on.
How you a winner in prison though, bro? Like putting everything on the line and shit. Like I don't know.
Hey, once I lost, she was gone. Charles, once I lost, she was out of there.
Because what I'm saying is the long-term effect that has on women. That's how the conversation got here.
Yeah, and once again, I'm not saying it's the best for women. I'm not trying to promote the argument. I'm just telling you what women like. Women like that, even though, as time goes on, they end up selling for the average guy, right? They friend zone because they was with the Pookie. They even have a baby with him, but then Pookie went to jail or got deleted. So then they're like, so they have, this is the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett thing, right? That's what that is, right? That's what that is. Tupac got deleted. She settled for Will, and she make you got Tupac, and I'm just selling for you.
Yeah, I wish she would have never said all that shit, man. She made Will look bad with that. I don't think most women would do that to their husbands, though. I think that's some minority shit. I don't think most women would do that to their husband. That's some bull.
Majority of women divorce their husband. Black women, yes, 80%. So it doesn't matter whether they do that to them; they're leaving them, right? Black women and black men have the highest divorce rate, and black women leave the black man the most. So whatever it is that they're leaving a black man for, it definitely is not because they're happy with them. Most likely because they got to settle for him.
I mean, ain't that about choice though? Those men would need to choose a better mate.
Well, these guys don't have that access like that, right?
Improve on what it is that's leading everything to be fucked up.
If she settled for him, right, Taz? If she settled for him, most likely he didn't have the credentials to get the women that were like her or better. He didn't have access to, so that's why he was forced to wait, right? He was forced to wait, and then she's like, "Oh, you know what? He got a little job. He's a lawyer, or he's a doctor, whatever. I'm just going. All right, I'm gonna deal with him." And she drug, and yeah. So you gotta understand, a man desires. Most men are not able to execute their desires like women can, right? They can't get the woman that they really, really want all the time. So when that opportunity of a lifetime comes, it's like the Super Bowl, nigga. It's the NBA championship. This chick, oh my God, she likes me now. He doesn't know that she's selling because the guy Tupac got deleted. But she doesn't tell him that. But she plays it off like, oh my gosh, you know what? I think we can work it out. And he's just ecstatic because he's dreamed about her. He's thought about her. He had all these, at night she rolled over in his bed wishing she was there. And he gets the opportunity and she comes knocking. You been turn that down? You got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. Just that Lenny Williams ass nigga.
I don't know. I think she put some cap on that Pac shit, bro. That like, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, though. She should have never said that shit. But I don't think she was never in no situation with Pac and Will to even say no shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pac was alive and shit when she was known. You know what I'm saying? I just think they went to school together. I do believe she'd be adding to it.
Well, she made it be known on the red table. I always loved Tupac. So she never stopped loving him because, right, she loved that flashy, that charismatic, that type of guy. That was really he wanted for her probably one of one, right? But she settled for Will because he was safe. She took the safe because Tupac got deleted. And she said, okay, Will, you're up. You're up, buddy. And Will thought about her like she thought about Tupac. So,
bro, a lot of that shit was just to get views on that show.
And the matter, and that's once again, right? Women, you know, they like an archetype. They like a certain type of guy. But when that guy is no longer available to them, they then settle for maybe a lesser form, and they make that guy's life miserable. So I'm in the show. Thank you for coming. Hit the like button on the way out. But yeah, women are hypergamous, right? They're always going to put themselves first. They've always loved themselves more than they love the guy that they're with. So if she's settling for that guy, he's definitely on the chopping blocks at any given moment, unless he placates to all her rules and all her things. Then if she could dominate him, she's good. So thank you for coming. Hit the like button on the way out. Until next time, Ruthless is out.